I think earlier today. But as you're wanting to be interested in other people, there's a quote in the book, and I probably don't have the exact quote down, but that the sweetest sound and the absolute most important person to any person is their name. Plain and simple. And if you can get somebody's name down.
It's funny. We've got two friends, Heidi and Ava. Whenever they are saying goodbye, they always say, "Goodbye, Angel." And I never really do that, bye, Michael, bye, Brian. It's just like, to see it, whatever. But Heidi's always done that. Have you ever noticed that? She's always like, talk to you later, Angel. And Ava does that too. And it's weird. I'm like, wow, I should do that because I know it's very personal.
And did you should all over yourself? Who was it who said that? Tabitha? Who says, we all talk about what we should do, And I do, speaking of shoulds, I want to get into some action steps in just a second. But I want to have everybody just introduce yourself to 3 people, get 3 people's names, and then as we go through some other stuff, maybe get on that meetup site and shoot them a little shout. Just say, hey, it was great to meet you. Imagine when somebody else does that for you, it's going to make you feel good. So everybody up. We're exercise mode on Wednesday. Introduce yourself to 3 people.
I made your name tag, so I better not forget you.
I need a couple volunteers. Somebody stand up and just say 3 names and point to the people who you didn't know before.
Thomas, Sharon, and JC.
Awesome. Anybody else? Anybody remember 3 names?
Easy. Mike, and Sharon.
I'll tell you what, I remember Sherry from earlier just because she was walking around hugging people instead of shaking their hands. That made me want to go give her a hug. Anybody else remember 3 people's names?
Travis, Donnie, and Dave.
Anybody else want to share? Yep, Anna.
Jolena, Thomas, Paul, Jason.
Good deal. All right. That's kind of it on kind of that stuff. These were just kind of the 4 major things that I personally got out. Here we go, saying I. Shouldn't be saying that, but 4 things that I got out of how to win friends and influence people that...
I was just going to ask you something. One of the reasons I wanted to come to these groups is I'm a very positive person, and what you brought up a minute ago is when you have people around you with negative energy, I wanted to find a technique to not let that negative energy pull into my energy. Because I'm in sales and you've got to do positive, and I don't want to change jobs. But when you're around environment, when they're negative, how do you stop that from flowing into your energy?
I have a suggestion that I do. I'm an occupational therapist and I work in a skilled nursing facility. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when I talk to the family members, they're very negative about the patients. Mm-hmm. And so what I do is I picture myself in a bubble, like an invisible bubble, and when I go and I speak to the family members or the patient or whoever that is that may have the negative energy, I do not allow their energy to enter my energy field. Like I just picture an invisible line, and once it hits that, it stops and goes back.
Okay, but what about if it's 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day?
You do that. I do that all
day long.
If I'm in the grocery store and somebody has negative energy, I'm
talking about, no, like I can do that in situations, but I'm talking about when it's every day,
it's your
5 days, it's your environment. It's not like when you're walking into a situation, it's your environment that you're working with all the time.
That's what I do. You do that all the I do that all the time. You do that all the time.
It does wear on you. It wears on you.
Yeah.
And to second what she's saying, I have a book the woman's name is Cynthia Sue Larson. She wrote a book called Aura Advantage, and it's all about understanding your energy field. And she has steps to go through in there that is called grounding, and it's about like sealing off your energy field and just going through some basic steps. And it actually says in there, like, if you work in a field that puts you in this negative energy space, you probably need to do this several times a day. So, like, it is something that after some habit of doing this, you can actually
What's the name of that book?
It's called Aura Advantage, and you can actually find it at realityshifters.com. But very powerful book. Really, it's a very it's all based on the law of attraction. So it's nice to find somebody who understands that and energy work. So.
I want to give a third-party example of something, and the only reason I'm using Carly is just because she's my girlfriend and I kind of know the story. And I don't encourage people, well, I avoid encouraging people to do this, but until you do something, you really never know what's going to happen. Carly is in a very positive, should be a very positive environment. She's a wedding and event planner as well, dealing with happy, fun people, you know, planning their weddings and events. No bridezillas, none of that stuff, none of that stuff. But as she was sharing, the people that she works with, okay, and this is an important point as we get to all this stuff as well, the people that she worked with were not of the same mindset that she was, of wanting the best for the customer, the best for the client, giving them what they want, having a positive working environment. And when she went and talked with her boss, you know, we had some conversations, and she wanted to tell them how bad they were and all the stuff that they were doing, and instead went in and said, here's what's important to me. I can't control what you guys do. This is important to me. These are the type of environment that I want to be in. I don't feel that here, and I'm leaving. She went to go quit her job. She quit, turned in her notice. They just had a, is it okay if I say that? They just had a meeting with her today. I don't know how much more money it is that they offered her. They've completely revamped the structure of the company because she was talking about what she wanted, which was the best for everybody. Okay? It's where you have to avoid the selfishness. It has to be right for everybody. But she got exactly what she wanted by visualizing it, talking about it with other people, sharing it, and now she's got a decision to make. Do I stay there with the more money, or do I continue on another path that I was going on? So she had an option of, this is what's important to me, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to surround myself with. And again, I'm not encouraging people to quit their jobs or go and quit because they may let you go. But no, they might. But if you visualize it, we sat and talked, and she visualized. We sat in the car. She closed her eyes and visualized what was going to happen at that meeting. Did it happen at the meeting? Did you expect it to happen?
Yes.
At first, did you expect it to happen? No. Are you sure? The law of attraction says, not only did she get more base, but also more commission. But the law of attraction, and Brian's favorite line is, your wish is my command. Whatever it is that you say, that you give your energy, and it's not just saying it, you have to give that energy to it, that vibration to it. Your wish is my command. So whatever it is that you want, put it out there, surround yourself with that stuff and make it happen.
One more thing about your parking spot. This is something that I learned a long time ago too, about getting the parking spot if you wanted to wish for it. But be real careful when you wish for something, because this is one thing they said. If you always visualize this parking spot and you say you want this, but make sure you say, but as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, because they said something about always wanting that parking spot, and then somebody who needs it more, like someone with crutches or somebody handicapped, needs it more than you. As long as you surround yourself and say, as long as it makes everybody involved.
Sure.
Oh, I have these fake crutches in my car.
Guys, I feel extremely fortunate to be able to stand up here and talk. I appreciate Brian giving me the opportunity and everybody else giving me the opportunity to do this as well. I know as kind of the organizers and assistant organizers of this, we all kind of talked and shared about the book, and we're kind of getting back into it and learning it for these couple weeks. So I wanted to open it up specifically to the rest of kind of the organizers to kind of share their quick overviews of the book and everything.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. There was just a few things that stood out to me and first when we're talking about, appreciation for people, I think the key word there is genuine. You have to be genuine, otherwise, like the book talked about, you're just flattering people. So it's very important to be very genuine, because to be convincing, you have to be convinced. You have to feel it, believe it, and know it inside you that the words that are coming out of your mouth are true, because then you're being genuine. You're not just walking around flattering the owner of the company. So keeping it on that note. The next thing was talking about smiling, eye contact. We all just did the exercise. I think eye contact, in Brian seeing me do this approach just random people when we were out to lunch one day, and we're going to have Ben go approach, just give him a card.